What do you see as the main challenge for religion as we stand just at the beginning of the 21st century and we face this host of problems, from the ecological issues to political issues? There's so many things that need to be addressed, and those things are becoming more and more urgent.
I think that really the most important thing for me today, as we are in this globalized world, is for every tradition and people from within every tradition to come to the universal and the fundamentals of this respective religion. I think that it's really important to know, okay, we have differences and we have to know them and to respect each other. But we have, and every one of us thinks that he or she is following a universal message. So from our respective tradition, extract the universality and try to build bridges on that.
I was interviewing a person the other day who has a Spanish philosopher, and he said something interesting that I was reminded of when you said that. He said that it was really in the universal ethics, the idea of universal ethics that applied to every man, to every woman across, regardless of nation, tradition. That's something that kind of came out of a later period in human history than when most of the religions were formed. So do you think there's a unique challenge in the religions coming to that understanding of the universality of ethics?
Yes, I'm very cautious with this as well, because I think it's really important to make it clear that we are not promoting syncretism or something which is, okay, everything is the same, okay, we are all, we are not. So there is a common ground, but let us know and respect the fact that there are many ways and paths and to come to this. So, for example, as I'm speaking from a Muslim viewpoint, it's really important for me to let the people understand that my route to arrive at this common field is specific, and this should not be forgotten. I think it's really important for us to understand that we have specific paths, but a common ground. So it's both respected diversity and common challenges and universal common values. So it's at the same time. So diversity is a challenge, and the common ground could be a risk.
What's the main challenge for Islam in order to meet the...
I would say what is the most or the priority challenge for Muslims today? I think that at the international level, to avoid victimizing themselves. Say, okay, the people don't like Islam, we are not, all the discussion about terrorism and the violence. I think that...
Avoid what? I'm sorry, how did you put that?
Victimization.
Right.
So this is...
We were at we were at a discussion yesterday. It was really extraordinary to see in the audience. You felt how victimized people felt by the public perception of them. I can understand that, but it seemed like their anger was not so much at those who were within their own kind of religious community that were causing that perception. It was more at the media and
there is a lack of self-criticism. It's as if everything is coming from outside and we are not responsible for what we are experiencing and the stigmatization we are dealing with. So the problem is that to stop victimization is really important, and to come back to once again a rereading of our sources in the way to explain more, to reach out, to speak out more about what do we stand for. For example, the teachings, the principle teaching, the fundamentals of Islam are not known by the people, and we don't explain that. We are just defending, we are just on the defensive, trying to explain, to justify ourselves. So this kind of victimization should be avoided, and we should also promote something which is partnerships with others, not to accept this isolation we are experiencing. So once again, to speak about spirituality as a Muslim, about love, about social commitment, about ethic. As I'm speaking about ethics of citizenship, I'm a European citizen. I want to be a citizen, but I have an ethics, and this ethics should nurture my citizenship in the way I'm dealing with others. So all this new thinking should be now spread, built first and spread afterwards. So the challenges are very, very, very big. But once again, now we have new generations of Muslim thinkers, men and women, they are coming. We have to listen to them, and we have also to accept. And this is what I tell my fellow citizens. Yes, we have a great deal of responsibility as Muslims, but you have also a shared responsibility, which is know more about Islam. Try to make an effort to know with whom you are living, because this is, at the end of the day, this is our pluralistic society we are speaking about. So if you are not just, if it's the media who are informing you about what Islam is all about, it's not going to work. So to buy a copy of the Quran after September 11 could be good, but it's not the way we are going to know each other. It's not after a catastrophe that you start to know about the people, even though it could be a good opportunity to start and then to continue the process. So for me today, it's also to tell the people around us, okay, try to know more about this religion and to study, because once again,
and you're saying for Muslims, not just for non-Muslims, but for Muslims,
for Muslims and non-Muslims together alike. I think that it's exactly the same process we have to promote.
Just maybe one question on religious violence. So I find it interesting here. There seems to be a common message. I've heard a lot of people say, you know, particular in relation to Islam. Islam is a religion of peace. Islam is a religion of love. Islam, and they'll say that about Christianity. All religions are religions of peace and love. And I find that's a bit of a. It's true, but it's more of a complex picture, really, for not just for Islam, but for all religions, really. And the issue of religious violence. It's not that religion necessarily sanctifies violence, but the issue of peace and nonviolence in all religions is a more complex picture than just the true message is peace, and that's the end of it.
Yes.
And yeah,
I agree with that. This is why I'm used to say that the way you put it makes the statement wrong. To say that Islam is about love and peace, it's wrong. It's not only about this. The end of the message is to get peace and love. But we are dealing with human beings.
Right.
And when you deal with human beings and you deal with the text, the revealed text, you find violence, wars, and conflict. So let us say it clearly, yes, there are verses in the Quran dealing with violence and dealing with killing and dealing with wars. So the question is not to avoid them, just to say, okay, it's all about love and peace, and no, this is wrong. This is not the message. The message is, okay, you are human beings, you have to deal with violence. So know out of this text how to master the violence in order to get peace. So your responsibility is to face up to the reality that is the violent reality of human beings, the radicalism you can find, the oppression you can find, not to avoid it within a specific spiritual realm or things, but to deal with this reality. So of course, in the Quran, in the Bible, in all the sacred books, you have something about violence, and because it's the reality of human beings. So let us say that, for example, jihad, in the way the Muslims are speaking, okay, it's just a legitimate resistance. It's more than that. It's an effort to go from a natural conflicting situation to a mastered peaceful reality. This is the spirit, the natural state of human beings. It's not peace. With my own the bad aspect of my personality, it's a conflict. Just I'm trying to get an harmony between these two temptations, the good one and the bad one. So I have to master this in order to get peace. Peace is the end of the road. It's not the starting point of the discussion. So the spiritual way is the spiritual way from real conflict to potential peace. So let us speak about it like this and say that this is the reality. So if you know how to deal with this, you may be better in the way you are going to deal with collectivity.
You respond differently. You respond with some kind of appreciation of the moral complexity of the situations.
So a simple statement is wrong when it's too simplistic. So I think that we have to be very clear about the fact it's much more complex than the way we are presenting this, and that we are dealing with violence as religious people, and mainly we have to speak about it frankly, sincerely, if we really want to go beyond that.